Next on Worcester News Tonight, getting into the Halloween spirit. We get an inside look at one of the most haunted mansions in the country. Plus, trick-or-treaters took over the streets in Worcester tonight. We stopped in on the Union Hill Halloween. Good evening and happy Halloween. I'm Anna Botari. In what has become an annual tradition, Worcester Police and the Oak Hill CDC team up to give out candy for Halloween. Union Hill-O-Ween gives parents a space to bring their little goblins and ghouls to trick-or-treat. This year, the event was as popular as ever. Our Cam Jandro was there and has more.
No tricks.
The candy.
Just treats. Hundreds of children fill their candy bags at Worcester's 4th annual Union Hill-O-Ween. Worcester police officer Sean Lovely came up with the idea. Chief Stephen Sargent says the goal is to give families a convenient and safe place to get candy.
Keeps the kids and the parents from, having to go across streets. Gets dark, younger kids get to come early, see a bunch of other kids, and just like I said, it's just a great community event.
As the sun set on Vernon Hill, parents say they felt better knowing they had this option.
I have an 11-year-old and I don't trust going anywhere around here, so it's good that, we can come here and get bags full of candy. It's awesome.
Superheroes, angels, and all sorts of spooky creatures were out Wednesday night. For some, it was their first taste of Halloween in the U.S. Is there anything like this in Brazil?
No, we don't have Halloween there. It's so fun. Kids enjoy. They had a good time.
For others, it's part of a tradition they now look forward to. What is the best part about Halloween?
Going trick-or-treating and getting all the candy and watching all the cool house decorations. Go trick-or-treating and get scared. Going trick-or-treating and getting scared and looking at other people's costumes.
Now for some, this is their first time trick-or-treating like this because they're used to the traditional going around their neighborhoods, but they say this is a safe and convenient option and they'll consider it down the line. Organizers say several hundred kids came up here to Vernon Hill to get candy, and luckily the weather turned out to be pretty nice for Halloween. Reporting in Worcester tonight, I'm Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.
These kids are brave. They say they like being scared. Good for them. Well, trick-or-treaters in the Pleasant Street neighborhood were given more than just candy tonight. The Neighborhood Network Center also gave them an opportunity to pick out a book of their choice. The books given out are donations the Pleasant Street Neighborhood Network Center has collected throughout the year. Board member Lucas Gallant says this is the 5th year they've hosted the event, and each year it's grown bigger. He says the books not only benefit children, but adults as well.
The Pleasant Street is very cultural with different people, so we actually have immigrants from different parts of the world coming to, even adults reading children's books just to learn the English language. So that's a good benefit of having it.
He says while the candy collected on Halloween is great, it's only temporary. Books can last a lifetime. Throughout the years, a Gardner mansion has welcomed many guests. It was once a home and then turned into a boarding house. Now the S.K. Pierce Victorian Mansion is listed as one of the most haunted houses in the country. But it isn't stopping some from entering, including our Rosalind Flaherty.
It's said to be one of the most haunted houses in the country.
We actually had somebody here and they heard the rocker. They slept in the red room and they heard the rocker rocking.
Guests of the S.K. Pierce Victorian Mansion in Gardner say unexplained experiences have happened to them.
Apparitions. I've had my hair pulled. I've had my jacket pulled down in the basement, poked, touched.
The mansion was built in the late 1880s by Sylvester Pierce. His first wife died when they moved in. The house's caretaker, Marion Luoma, says since then 9 others have died in the house.
Upstairs, somebody burned to death in the house.
Luoma watches over the nearly 7,000 square foot mansion and says the 3rd floor is the most haunted.
There's some stuff that's happened up here that just recently to us.
She showed us these pictures, which she says captures the paranormal activity.
12 o'clock in the afternoon. See the child standing right here?
The house has been featured on paranormal shows and has been sold to many people, including one couple who Luoma says had to move out because of what they experienced.
Up and left, handed me the key and said, take care of my house, and never came back.
The current owner is transforming it into a bed and breakfast. Luoma says she's only stayed overnight once and says the spirits won't harm you as long as you respect them.
They're playful. They're very playful. They'll throw the ball. We've seen that happen. Like sitting here and the ball will roll across the room.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
Patients at UMass Memorial Children's Medical Center getting a chance to trick-or-treat today. Dozens of staff members from 22 different departments in the hospital dressed up and handed out treats to kids who walked up and down the halls. Patients were donated costumes from those who weren't able to get their own. The hospital says it's important for kids to get a chance to celebrate the holiday.
I mean, it's really hard. Some of these kids are here anywhere from a couple of days to a couple of weeks. And like I said, Halloween, doesn't stop just because kids are in the hospital. So we take that, job very seriously to kind of make it special and to make sure that they have that normalization in their routine.
For the sickest children who aren't able to leave their rooms, staff members brought candy to them. New research out of UMass Memorial Medical School shows promising results for a new treatment for patients with ALS. According to UMass, the therapy uses synthetic microRNAs to silence mutations which lead to the disease without adverse effects. Dr. Robert Brown Jr. and Christian Mueller both worked the study. Mueller says the results suggest this approach to treating ALS should be safe for humans and it could potentially be done with a one-time treatment. Adding, these experiments are at a point where they need to be taken to the next step and translated into clinical trials for patients. The duck boat's rolling for the Red Sox as thousands of fans lined the streets of Boston to cheer on the champions. It's the kind of victory celebration we're getting used to having here in New England. A big day for the Sox Wednesday, marking the team's 4th World Series title in the last 15 years. Today's parade began at Fenway Park, where the players rallied with fans and reflected on their historic season.
Beating people, the more we realize, like, hey, we got a chance, and we did it. We were the last team standing. We won the last game. That's everyone's goal, and we're very happy we accomplished it.
There's so much hard work, so much stuff that goes on behind the scenes that nobody sees. So much sweat, so much stuff that you can't account for. Nobody can ever document it. And just to be out here with these guys, and it's going to be awesome.
Oh, this is great. This is, you beat New York. Yeah. You beat LA. Yeah. All the Hollywood people. Yeah. We got Hollywood people right here. Beginning of the year.
The parade route went from Fenway Park to Government Center. The duck boats carrying team management and players, as well as the 2018 Commissioner's Trophy. The Sox players really seemed to enjoy themselves as interacting with fans along the parade route. Well, switching gears now, it's been a year since a Worcester woman was killed in a hit-and-run on a busy East Brookfield street. Police and the woman's daughter say the case is still wide open, and they're looking for new information. Our Chandler Walsh spoke with both today and has more.
1 year after Lisa Germain was killed in a hit-and-run, daughter Erica Paradis swears her mom on her heart. The East Brookfield case is unsolved, and Paradis says she needs answers to heal.
Some days it feels like yesterday that this happened. I wake up in the morning and reality hits all over again. And other days it feels like it's been 10 years since I heard my mom's voice or felt her hug.
Surrounded by her mom's furniture, belongings, and beloved cat, Paradis feels close to her. She says she's gone through every emotion the past year and finds it hard to know there's someone out there responsible who hasn't come forward.
I'm very angry that they've been silent for so long, but I still do feel like they also need to heal.
The 54-year-old was killed last October while crossing Route 9 around 6 p.m. after a night of dancing. East Brookfield Police Chief William Knoyer says the rainy weather made it tough to capture the vehicle responsible.
Surveillance cameras we were attempting to use converted over to infrared, or they were wet and blurred.
Police first identified the wrong vehicle, but Knoyer says they now believe they have the right car and are working to get a clearer picture.
We have some forensic people attempting to see if they can enhance that.
Paradis says her mom was caring, fun-loving, and her best friend. She's pleading for someone to come forward and close the case.
I want to know why they didn't stop and why they've stayed silent and, why they just left my beautiful mom to die in the road.
Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
Quabbin Regional High School's appeal of the state's accountability rating for the school's MCAS scores is successful. According to the Telegram, the school is now classified as not requiring assistance or intervention in the state's accountability records. Quabbin was one of several schools in central Massachusetts identified by the state as low performing or in need of improvement in specific areas. The school's principal said earlier this month the school's rating was not because of enough of high school's special education students took the test.